2005, I came for the first time on a mission trip. And when walking through the Kibera slum, we noticed a woman sitting at a treadle sewing machine. And I said to Irene, if we could teach the women how to sew, we could help them develop skills and then they could pay their rent and feed their children. And so in 2009, Irene asked me clearly if I would come and help teach the women how to sew. And so in 2010, we began the ministry. I came for 2 months and worked at Rayla Education Center in the dining hall teaching women. We started with 20 women in the morning, and by the second week there were 50. And so that's how the ministry began. We built this building and then we started sewing here, and as you can see, it's a delightful place to work with plenty of sunshine coming in so that the women can see what they're doing. And now my goal is to develop them even further, get them more specific skills that take a time to learn as a woman learning to sew. All of these women live in the Kibera slum, and as you know, the Kibera slum has about 1.5 million people living in less than 2 square miles. Most of them do not have electricity, and there are 2 places in the slum where they can get water. So they have to walk to get the water and pay for it, and they are used to having no electricity. So these skills that we're developing help them raise the level of poverty and hopefully eventually get them out of it. They use the money to feed their children. Typically, they have 4 or 5 children each because in their custom, in their culture, having children is the only way that they become more important and have more status as a woman. And so the more children they have, the better they are, they think. Also, if one of the lady's sisters passes away from AIDS, which is very common, at the funeral, the sister's family will give her her children. So now this woman that has 4 children that she can barely sustain has 8 or 10. And so every little bit of money is very important to them, and it helps at least feed children. When I came in 2010, we would take tea in the afternoon, and they would be given these small cookies, 2 or 3 with their tea. And I noticed after a while that about half of them would take those cookies and put them in their pocket, and I couldn't imagine why, if they were hungry, they wouldn't eat. Well, the reason they were doing that was because there was a child at home or a neighbor who had not eaten in a day or 2, and so they were trying to share what they have. So as the program has developed in this sewing ministry that we're doing, we've also maintained the Bible study, and we've seen the Bible study lift people up. Some of the women have come to Christ that were not Christ-oriented before, and in this process we feel like this is the real work of the Baraka Women's Center, is to lift women up and help them see the love of Christ. They don't understand why wealthy Americans, because they believe we all are, why would they spend their time and money coming here to help them? But as you know, the blessing of helping others is lifting them up to Christ, and also that blessing is returned to you when you do this kind of work. The other dream that we have is to start a training program where there are other women in Kibera, obviously, who need skills. And so we hope to develop a training program while I'm here that will help them so that we teach more women, because this is a gift from God and we want to share that. So as the program has developed and I've gone around and spoken to groups, we've come to realize that we need to also invite people at their craft sales, their church bazaars, to invite us in with our products. We provide everything you would need to set up the booth. All you need to do is be there and man the booth. It doesn't cost you anything, but the proceeds help the widows and children here at First Love. And so we would be delighted if you were interested to host our products and help us develop the program even more than it already is.